So imagine you run a small business and need a customer portal where people can log in, see their order history, and submit support tickets. But you're not a web developer. 20 years ago, you'd hire an agency, pay thousands, and wait months. Today, there's a much simpler path. External websites aren't optional anymore. Customer portals, partner dashboards, and self-service sites are how business gets done. The problem is that traditional web development stays slow, expensive, and requires skills most small businesses just don't have. What changed? Power Pages. By the end of this episode, you'll understand what Power Pages actually is, how it connects to your business data, and when you should use it. We'll break it down into 8 clear building blocks. Grab your coffee, and let's dive in. What exactly is Power Pages? Here's the simplest definition. Power Pages is Microsoft's low-code platform for building external-facing business websites. That sounds like a mouthful, so here's the plain English version. Think of it as a storefront for your business data. You have a back office full of customer records, orders, and service cases. Power Pages is the front door that lets your customers walk in and interact with that data. Now, here's an important distinction. You've heard of Power Apps. That's for internal employees, an app for your sales team or warehouse staff. Power Pages flips that around. It's for people outside your company. Customers, partners, vendors, or the general public. Power Pages runs as a SaaS platform, which means Microsoft handles all the hosting, security updates, and scaling. You just design the site and publish it. No servers to manage and no security patches to install, so it's like having a professional web hosting team built right into your subscription. But don't confuse Power Pages with WordPress or Squarespace. Those are for marketing websites, blogs, landing pages, and online stores. Power Pages is different because it connects directly to your business data stored in Microsoft Dataverse, and that's the key difference. A WordPress site shows static content, but a Power Pages site shows live data from your business systems. So when a customer submits a form, a record gets created in your database instantly. No manual entry, CSV exports, or copy-paste. Power Pages isn't a traditional website builder. It's a data-connected portal platform. And to really understand it, you first need to know where it came from. The rebrand from Power Apps Portals to Power Pages. Before 2022, this product had a different name, Power Apps Portals. And honestly, that name caused a lot of confusion. It was buried inside Power Apps there, so most people didn't even know it existed, making it feel more like a hidden feature than a real product you could rely on. Microsoft gave it its own identity at the Build conference in May 2022. They announced Power Pages as a standalone product, making it the 5th member of the Power Platform family alongside Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI, and Power Virtual Agents. Finally, it got its own homepage, its own licensing, and its own place in the lineup. Here's the good news. If you already had a Power Apps portal, nothing changed. Microsoft didn't force anyone to migrate. Your existing site automatically became a Power Pages site, and all the old features still work, plus you get access to the new ones too. What improved? A lot. The new Design Studio replaced the old clunky portal editor. Security got tighter. Sites are now private by default, so they aren't publicly discoverable until you explicitly share them. Licensing became its own thing, separate from Power Apps, which made it easier to buy and easier to understand. So now you know what Power Pages is and where it came from. But how does it actually work under the hood? That's where Dataverse comes into the engine, Dataverse connection. Now here's where the pieces come together. Power Pages isn't just a pretty website builder. Underneath, it connects to something called Dataverse, Microsoft's cloud database. Think of it as the filing cabinet in your back office that stores all your business data. Customer names, order histories, support tickets, inventory levels, everything. Power Pages is the front desk that lets customers walk in, look at those files, and interact with them, but they never touch the filing cabinet directly because the front desk handles that. So when a customer logs into your portal and sees their order status, they're reading data straight from Dataverse in real time. And when they submit a form, a new record gets created in that same database instantly. How does this connection actually work? It uses a server-to-server connection, or S2S for short. Power Pages talks to Dataverse through a dedicated Microsoft Entra app, which is Microsoft's identity service. Every Power Pages site gets its own unique app with its own certificate. It's secure, automatic, and you don't have to configure it manually. It just works. Why does this matter? Because it means your forms and lists are directly linked to live business data. There's no middleman, no CSV export, no manual sync. A customer submits a support request on your website, and boom, a case record appears in your Dynamics 365 system. Your team can start working on it immediately without anyone typing data into a second system. Now, there's an important update here. Microsoft recently introduced native Dataverse authorization in public preview, and this is a big deal. In the old model, external users on your website weren't really Dataverse users. Their permissions were managed through a separate layer called web roles. It worked, but it wasn't always transparent. With native Dataverse authorization, those external users are now treated as actual Dataverse users, and their permissions are enforced at the database level, just like internal employees. That means more granular security, better audit trails, and fewer gaps where data could slip through. It's a significant upgrade. Once you've got the foundation, you need to actually build the site. That's where the Design Studio comes in, building with the Design Studio. So what exactly is the Design Studio? It's the central hub where you build your Power Pages site, and it's split into 4 workspaces. Each one handles a different part of the process. The first workspace is Pages. This is your drag and drop page editor. You add sections, text, images, forms, and lists, and you arrange them visually on the page without any HTML. If you've used Wix or Squarespace before, the experience feels familiar. But here's the difference. Those forms and lists are connected to real Dataverse tables. When you drop a form onto a page, you're not just creating a generic contact form. You're building a form that writes directly to your customer table or your order table. That's the magic of it. Next is the styling workspace. This controls the look and feel of your site. You apply global themes, choose fonts, pick colors, all point and click, no CSS required. You can match your corporate branding in seconds. And if you want to get fancy later, you can still write custom CSS, but most people never need to. Then there's the data workspace. This is where you manage the Dataverse tables and forms that power your site. You can create new tables, edit existing ones, and build forms and views, all without leaving the Design Studio. In the old Power Apps portals, managing data meant jumping into a separate app. Now it's all in one place. Think of it as your backstage area for the data that runs everything. Finally, the setup workspace. This is your administrative hub. You manage site details, run the go-live checklist, configure integrations, and handle Copilot settings. It's where you make sure everything is ready before you publish. And speaking of Copilot, Power Pages has AI built right in. You describe what you want in plain English, and Copilot generates pages for you. For example, type, create a page for event registration with a form and a confirmation message. Copilot builds the page, adds the form, connects it to a Dataverse table, and sets up the confirmation logic. It's not perfect, and you'll probably want to tweak things, but it gets you from 0 to something usable in seconds instead of hours. A great-looking site doesn't matter if it's not secure. So let's talk about security. Security. Who sees what? Here's the thing that surprises most people. When you create a Power Pages site, it's private by default. Nobody can find it, browse to it, or discover it in search engines. You have to explicitly decide to make it public. That's a big change from the old Power Apps portals where sites were public the moment you created them. Microsoft flipped the default for a reason. Security should be opt-in, not something you have to remember to turn on. So what protects your site once it's live? Several layers. First, every Power Pages site comes with a Web Application Firewall, or WAF. Think of it as a security guard at the front door. It sits in front of your site and blocks common attacks before they reach your server. SQL injection attempts, cross-site scripting, malicious bots. The WAF catches them all. Second, there's a Content Delivery Network, or CDN. It speeds up page load times by serving content from servers close to your visitors. But it also absorbs traffic spikes and DDoS attacks. These are enterprise-grade protections that Microsoft provides automatically. Then there's authentication. How do users log in? Power Pages supports multiple identity providers out of the box. Users can sign in with their Microsoft account, Google account, or LinkedIn account. Or you can configure a custom provider using standards like SAML or OpenID Connect. You decide which options to offer. For a customer portal, you might allow Google and Microsoft. For a partner site, you might require a specific corporate identity provider. Now here's where the real security happens. At the data level, Power Pages uses table permissions to control who can read, write, or delete records. For example, you configure it so customers can only see their own support tickets, not anyone else's. That's row-level security. Each user sees only the records they're supposed to see. On top of that, there are page permissions. You can restrict access to entire pages. An admin dashboard page might only be visible to users with the administrator role. A public FAQ page might be visible to everyone, even people who aren't logged in. Those roles are called web roles, and you define them yourself. Common examples are customer, partner, administrator, and anonymous user. Each role gets different permissions. A customer can read their own data and create new support tickets. A partner can see inventory levels and submit orders. An administrator can do everything. You assign these roles to users when they register or when you import them from your business systems. And there's a new tool that makes security management even easier. It's called Deep Scan. Think of it as a security inspector for your site. You run it, and it scans your entire Power Pages site for vulnerabilities. It checks your table permissions, page permissions, and authentication settings. Then it gives you a report with specific guidance on how to fix any issues it finds. It's like having a security auditor built into the platform. All of this sounds powerful, but who pays for it? Let's talk licensing. Licensing and costs. Let's talk money. The old licensing model for Power Apps portals was a mess. It was bundled with Power Apps licenses in a way that made it almost impossible to know what you were actually paying for. You had to buy add-ons and navigate a maze of SKUs, not exactly beginner-friendly. Then in 2023, everything changed. Power Pages now has its own standalone licensing. It's a per-website, per-month model based on just 2 things: how many authenticated users you have and how many anonymous visitors come to your site. That's it. Just 2 numbers. You've got 2 plans to pick from. Power Pages authentication covers anyone who logs in, customers, partners, or employees, and you pay per user per month. Power Pages Anonymous covers public visitors browsing your site without logging in, and you pay per site per month based on traffic volume. If your site has both public pages and logged in areas, you'll likely need both, but the pricing stays transparent and predictable. You can try it for free. Microsoft offers a 30-day trial with full access to all features. That means a real Power Pages site with real Dataverse storage. You can build, customize, and test everything. When the trial expires, your site gets suspended but not deleted. You have 7 days to convert it to a paid subscription. If you don't, the site is removed, but nothing is lost permanently as long as your data is backed up in Dataverse. Here's the bottom line. Say you need a customer portal for 100 users. The cost is predictable and scales with your needs. You're not paying for a web development team, server hosting, or security monitoring. Those are all included. You just pay for the platform and Microsoft handles the rest. Enough theory. Let's look at real companies using Power Pages today. Real-world use cases. Let me give you a concrete example. The South Calgary Primary Care Network supports over 70 member clinics and more than 300 healthcare professionals. They needed to collect monthly data from every clinic, patient visits, screenings, access metrics. Before Power Pages, this was a total mess. Spreadsheets flying around by email, manual data entry, and support tickets every time someone forgot their password. So they built the Medical Home Hub using Power Pages. Clinics log in, fill out their monthly forms, and the data goes straight into Dataverse. No custom development, no third-party vendor, just a secure portal that works. Support tickets dropped, and clinic staff spend less time wrestling with logins and more time with patients. That's the real value. Partner collaboration works the same way. Imagine a manufacturing company sharing inventory data with its suppliers. In the old days, that meant phone calls, emails, and spreadsheets. With Power Pages, the supplier logs into a secure portal, sees real-time data, and updates delivery timelines themselves. Everyone stays aligned, and you get no more "I thought you sent that email" conversations. Then there's self-service for external contractors, volunteers, or gig workers, an HR portal where they submit timesheets and update profiles, or a volunteer management site for signing up shifts. These people are part of your extended workforce, but don't have access to your internal systems. Power Pages gives them a front door without exposing your entire network. Public registration covers event management, community programs, and volunteer signups. A city government might let residents register for summer camps, or a nonprofit might handle donor signups. The key is that every registration goes straight into Dataverse, so your team sees attendance numbers in real time without manually importing CSV files. Now, you might be thinking, why not just use a regular website for these things? A regular website from WordPress or Squarespace can show information, but it can't connect to your live business data. When someone submits a form, the data goes into a separate database from your CRM or ERP. Someone has to export it, transform it, and import it elsewhere. Manual work, and that's where errors creep in. Power Pages skips all that. The form writes directly to the same database your internal systems use, and because it integrates with Power Automate, you can trigger workflows when data changes. A customer submits a support request, an approval workflow starts automatically, an email notification goes out, and a ticket gets created in your help desk system, all without anyone lifting a finger. Power Pages is already powerful today, and Microsoft keeps pushing it forward. What's next? SPA, AI agents, and more. Let's talk about what's coming next for Power Pages. In February 2026, Microsoft added support for single-page applications. Why does that matter? If you want more than a template, you now have a lot more flexibility. A single-page app works like Gmail or Google Maps. Click something, and the page doesn't reload. It just updates the content on the fly. So now, developers can build custom interfaces with React, Angular, or Vue and run them directly on Power Pages. The built-in templates are no longer your only option. You get a fully custom user interface, and Dataverse remains your backend. Professional developers get the freedom they need, and the low-code platform still works. Both sides win. Then in April 2026, Server Logic went live. This lets you run JavaScript on the server for custom business rules. No more wrestling with liquid templates or calling external services. Administrators can also restrict outbound calls from the Server Logic layer to stay compliant with internal security policies. Enterprise control without the complexity. Now let's talk about AI agents. This is where things get interesting. In the 2026 Release Wave 1 demo, Microsoft showed an AI agent that can code from a description. A developer described a site in plain English, an event registration site for a community race series. The agent listened, generated a step-by-step plan, and then built the entire site. It created 8 pages, 7 Dataverse tables with proper relationships, web roles for volunteers, coaches, and organizers, and authentication, all from a single conversation. The agent didn't just generate code, it built the structure of the site, created the database schema, set up security, and deployed everything. A task that used to take a team weeks now takes minutes. So where does that leave us? Power Pages is becoming a full web application platform, not just a portal builder. It started as a way to put Dynamics 365 data on the web. Now it supports custom SPAs, server-side logic, and AI-powered site generation. The line between low-code portal and professional web application is getting thinner. Here's the thing about Power Pages. It's Microsoft's platform for building secure, data-driven external websites without writing code. But when you need to go pro, you can. It connects to your business data in Dataverse, enterprise security is built in, and it scales from a simple customer portal to a full custom web application. If you have an external-facing need, a customer portal, a partner site, a self-service hub, start a free trial today at Power Pages. Microsoft.com. You get 30 days of full access. Build something real and see how it feels. Subscribe to Microsoft Knowledge Nuggets for more plain English breakdowns. Drop a comment if you've used Power Pages. What did you build? I'd love to hear your story. That's your knowledge nugget for today. Until next time, keep learning.